For nearly a century, Hollywood has been haunted by one of its darkest mysteries, the death of Thelma Todd, the golden-era actress whose charm and wit lit up the silver screen. When she was found lifeless in her car inside her own garage in 1935, the world was shocked. Was it an accident, or something far more sinister? Now, after decades of speculation, the case has been revisited, and what modern forensic experts found inside that garage has left everyone stunned. In the glamorous 1930s, Thelma Todd was one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Known as the ice cream blonde, she had a rare mix of beauty, humor, and intelligence. She appeared alongside legends like the Marx Brothers and Laurel and Hardy, stealing every scene with her radiant smile and razor-sharp timing. But behind the laughter and fame was a woman caught in a dangerous web of Hollywood politics, failed love affairs, and powerful men who didn't like hearing the word no. On December 16, 1935, everything came to a tragic end. Thelma was found dead in her own garage, slumped over in her car, the engine still running. Authorities quickly ruled it an accident, carbon monoxide poisoning. But even then, something didn't add up. She was only 29 years old, at the height of her career, with new film deals and plans for her own restaurant and nightclub. Friends and colleagues swore she wasn't suicidal. So what really happened to Thelma Todd? For years, theories swirled. Some said it was a mob hit, that her restaurant had attracted the wrong kind of attention. Others believed she'd been silenced because she knew too much about Hollywood's underworld. And still others whispered that it was a crime of passion, tied to her complicated love life and a series of jealous rivalries. Recently, modern forensic experts were given rare access to re-examine the site of her death, the same garage that had been sealed and largely untouched for decades. Using advanced crime scene analysis and environmental testing, investigators sought to answer the question that had haunted Hollywood for generations: was Thelma Todd's death really an accident? What they found was chilling. First, new air quality testing revealed that the garage's ventilation system wasn't nearly as airtight as early reports suggested. This raised doubts about whether carbon monoxide alone could have killed her so quickly, especially if the engine was only idling. Experts noted inconsistencies in the original coroner's report, including bruises on her face and lips that suggested a possible struggle before death. Even more disturbing were traces of a dark, sticky residue found in the cracks of the old garage floor, identified as automotive fluid consistent with 1930s-era car engines. This indicated her vehicle may have been moved after her death, which would have been nearly impossible for Thelma to do herself. Then came the discovery that sent shivers through everyone involved. Hidden behind a loose section of wall paneling, researchers found fragments of aged fabric fibers, consistent with wool from a woman's coat. Thelma had been wearing a heavy coat the night she died, but these fibers appeared torn, as if caught during a struggle. When compared to photos from her autopsy, they matched the weave of the garment she was last seen wearing. Investigators also noted strange markings near the garage door, suggesting it had been forced open from the outside at some point, contradicting reports that the door was locked from within. These new findings reignited one of Hollywood's oldest debates: was Thelma Todd murdered and staged to look like an accident? Adding to the mystery, forensic historians uncovered letters Thelma had written just days before her death. In them, she expressed fear for her safety, mentioning pressure from business partners and unnamed men who think they own everything. One note ended chillingly: "If something happens to me, it wasn't an accident." After reviewing the modern forensic evidence, experts now believe it's highly unlikely that Thelma Todd's death was a simple case of carbon monoxide poisoning. Instead, the signs point to foul play, possibly an altercation that turned deadly, followed by a staged scene to cover it up. The reopened investigation doesn't just rewrite Hollywood history, it shines a light on the dark side of an industry built on glamour and illusion. Thelma Todd's tragic end reminds us that even at the height of fame, danger can lurk just beyond the spotlight. And now, nearly 90 years later, her voice, silenced too soon, may finally be heard. The truth, it seems, was waiting all along, inside that cold, silent garage.